intro is so pokey. What up? How are you doing?
Yeah, but it's unique. Nobody else has it, so no
It's
one's gonna copy it either. So don't worry
nobody
about
is going to copy that one. We've got that locked down.
lockdown. Unlike Ambry Thomas.
What
Oh,
up? We got a little Spongy in the house from Twitter. Looks like he wants Brian Johnson fired and fire Patricia, which I think Patricia's already gone. Jimmy Perez in the house. What up, Jimmy? Appreciate you stopping in. Hope you are doing well. I know Jimmy. Oh, and we got 49ers Jive. He stopped in just what was it last night and stayed, chilled, talked, and he obviously liked your comment there. Now I do feel look that one penalty where like he looked up and then like Spaz slapped his hands and then like 3-4 seconds go by and then the ball comes in. I was like, oh, Ambry, like that's kind of that's like you got scared and just like I don't know, like got naked and ran out the door. You know what I mean? And it was like someone just came around the corner when you weren't expecting him to. You know what I mean? It's like you need to just kind of have a little more. If this is the thing, I would rather them catch that ball and you immediately tackle them than to them get a penalty at that spot. Right? Because it's the spot of the foul.
Absolutely.
So let's just let them catch it and tackle them. You know what I mean? So if you're like, oh fuck, get ready to tackle them. If you tackle them too early because you thought they had the ball, I'm okay with that.
Yeah. At least they get tackled. At least they pay a price.
You know what I'm saying? And just as long as you thought they had the ball. You know what I mean? Like that's fair.
Yeah.
Oh, we got Don Dodson in the house. What up, Don? Appreciate you stopping in. We also got E. Kim. I don't know if you know about
go
some
back
E.
up
Kim.
go back up to Spongy though.
Oh, what?
Spongy was above Don, but whatever. We can go that too. But
all of our coordinators are fired. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, because good thing Sirianni is so good at hiring coordinator.
Well, but to his credit, they kind of was. He did.
He
with
hired
his first
Gannon and Steichen. I get it, but not
right.
Last year's were
well. Now, last year maybe he was kind of reaching a little bit. Maybe he didn't have a lot of things he thought would work for him and what he had going on.
Or maybe Howie Roseman is the problem by letting C.J. Gardner-Johnson go in, T.J. Edwards go, and Hargrave go off that defense. All of a sudden, they didn't have the same firepower for whoever was their D coordinator. Well, Patricia is a bad idea no matter what, but
it's the GM in the or. See, I don't like that. I would rather have my coach having people he feels he can work with, no matter how talented those coaches are, because really the head coach has the knowledge for the most part, so it trickles down. So if he sees something going in one of the positions, he's going, hey, I need you to fix that. And when it doesn't get fixed, he's like, what's going on? I need you to do this, and this. That's how we're going to fix it. And then that coach goes and fix that. It's if you got everybody in there who's just cutthroat and looking for their own job, and they're not like, hey, I'm working for my buddy. You know what I mean? I'm trying to do everything I can to make him look good. So in turn, he can make me look good. You know what I mean? That's kind of how I see coaching staffs. The head coach, everybody's sold out to work under him because they're his buddy. They're his in the business, right? So everybody underneath them should be working to make him look good, right? Because that's how you would be kept around, right? If I'm a head coach, I got a coach over here who's shining, making me look good out there on tape. They're talking about, oh, look at this defensive line. You're like, I don't do anything with the defensive line. That's all Coach Kocurek. You know what I mean? That makes me look good. Less things I have to worry about that I'm getting praised for. Good stuff, right? I don't see that a good thing. Coaches should, like Kyle Shanahan was in on hiring Steve Wilks. So was Coach Kocurek. You know what I mean? Like he was in on the hiring of Steve Wilks. That's important. That's the people you got to work around.
But Kyle has all the power more than John Lynch, so it's a little bit different in our situation than most other NFL. You know, I mean, other than like Belichick.
Who gives him that power? The owner does.
Yeah, Jetty. Uncle
right.
Jed.
As long as the owner, I don't like it in some situations, like in drafting and stuff like that. I want Kyle to just shut up and sit in the corner sometimes. But other times, like, you know, like have your preference. I get that. Let the guys that do the job. Stop getting in there and trying to make things better. Yeah.
There you go. Well, got Bashar in the house.
We got Bashar. 49er minded. What up? We also have CarCast in the house. Make sure to go and check out both CarCast and Bashar 49er minded. They both have channels. So does Little Spongy here. He does card pack openings. So make sure to check them out. Subscribe and hit that notification button so you can check out all their other shows. Yeah. Bashar, you can check Bashar out on my channel later tonight on Bring the Heat podcast. So us and Mariah will be on later to talk about this game and the Detroit Lions coming up. So real quick, Brock Purdy, let's get this. I want to preface this question first with Brock Purdy's done amazing in his first 2 years in the league. Okay. He's awesome. There's no other quarterback I want at the helm of this team at the moment. You know what I mean? Now, with that, do we have an issue with weather?
Absolutely. I've been saying it since the
Cleveland
Browns game. He came out with a freaking glove on. I mean, what more do you need to say? I mean, that was a pure white, waving the white flag. Yes, he struggle with wet footballs, and he did struggle with wet footballs.
He did like everything he could this game to not wear the glove.
Yeah, well, it also, you know, the rain slowed down some too, which helped.
Until the Packers got the ball back on that last drive.
Yeah, I was just saying that on the last show I was on with the Browns. I said, shit, it reminded me of the Chicago Bears and Trey Lance season opener of 2021, where like the Bears scored and all of a sudden the sky opened up and it was just raining, you know, the hardest rain I've ever seen in a football game. And it was like, oh, it's the same all the whole game long, Dad. It's all the same. You know, it's like, no, it wasn't all the same, man. He couldn't even see the numbers. They had to black out the numbers, or he couldn't even see the white chalk under the puddles. They were so deep. It was crazy. So yeah, it reminded me a lot of that. I mean, I was happy. Yeah, it was nice for Purdy's drive, and then whoosh, the sky opened up. Sometimes the Cleveland Browns fans said, sometimes God plays favorites. I'm like, yeah,
you know,
they would know. They would know.
Look,
you know?
I'm sure Terradome would be happy to hear that, because, you know, that's one thing that Terradome really likes about Brock Purdy is his connection with the man upstairs. So who knows?
Yeah,
maybe Brock Purdy called in a favor. He like, look, I've been a humble servant. Can you please, if
brother
it be anything, yeah, come on. Just
a little dryness. a whiff of dry.
Gosh, what was it? Oh, I was just watching
let Moody make that field goal.
I just was watching Cat Williams' part where he was talking about they put him in a mental hospital or something like that. And he's like, they put me in a mental hospital next to real crazy people. He's like, Yeah, dear Lord, this is your humble servant. Sometimes it gets a little too tiring, sir. It's just like I don't know what to do. I'm at wit's end. They got me here with real crazy people. I don't know what to do with this. They making me feel like I'm crazy.
They'll
Yeah,
put you in
no.
there for nothing. That's for sure.
Oh, go watch that. And if you haven't seen Cat Williams, I can't remember what movie it is, but his character's in jail and he's talking to his girlfriend who has got 2 or 3 children with him, and like only one of them he could possibly have conceived, I'm guessing. And it sets that up by talking about one of the children being from the mountains of the Caucasus. And just look up Mountain of the Caucasus and
All right.
you will probably
I saw my first Cat Williams stand up recently. My wife was watching it, and I got to enjoy some. It was the one. Is he a Cowboys fan? Because he had like 2 big stars on his jacket. He had stars on his jeans too.
Oh, probably not. He knows how to dress.
Okay.
You know, like that jacket was probably custom made for him.
But there were like blue stars on the jacket, and
He
then
might
white
have been performing in Dallas. He
jeans.
might be a Cowboys fan. But
I think he is. He's definitely not a 49ers fan. No Niners fan will be wearing that. Let me just tell you right now.
Yes, true.
Or Giants.
And he is from the South.
Eagles.
He might like multiple teams. Who knows?
He might.
I don't know.
He might. Yeah.
I don't think he's a Texas guy. I think he's more like a New Orleans. Seems like further east than Texas.
Got McNiner in the house here.
Oh, we got David Corona in the house. What up, David Corona? And we got Jason, Captain Niner Massey. Gang's all here. Yeah, issue with the ball. Now, going forth, I don't think we're going to have an issue with the rest of this season. But next year, like, how about we figure this out, Brock? If you need to have a glove, you were practicing throwing left-handed last year when your right arm was messed up. So what about this offseason? You practice with a wet ball and you practice with a glove on. And let's
need to practice it.
You can.
But you know what I noticed, and I don't know that practice can help this. Here's the thing, is that when he had it on, he definitely had a good grip on the football. And he thing is like, I think the problem with the glove is you get too good a grip and you can't release properly.
Right.
You have no touch as to where, and so like that was when he threw right to the defender's breadbasket. And that's not something that Brock normally does. So I'm
wondering if you can just get some like rubberized tape to put on the hand. Because I think the biggest problem is that the slack in the gloves. Because the slack in the gloves makes it so that even if you're releasing, it's not like instantaneous, because the slack in the glove can either leave it stuck or that there's you know when when you go left and right and your wheels don't really move. The play. Yeah. So if you've got like this much around your finger, there's play on that glove that could still be interacting it. So if you just had tape on your fingers, I think that would be better, because then you could release when you were doing it. It's just a layer on there instead of it being able to move back and forth or even like hang over. Because like sometimes in some gloves, the fingertip will hang over. And so you go to spin and your fingertip will come off. And then if the tip of that is still on there, you can get a little extra grip from the tip of that glove.
Yeah. So
that's why I'm saying I think he needs to spend time working on something and figure something out.
Practicing with a wet ball, maybe. But Kyle doesn't believe in that, Ryan. So Kyle said, I'm a real football guy, and coaches who practice, with a hose artificially are not real football guys. I don't understand that line of thinking at all. It just seems arrogant, and it seems ridiculous because if there's any way that Brock's ever going to master throwing with a glove, it's going to be practicing it in practice with a wet ball, whether it's raining or not. You make the ball wet.
The 49ers Jive said he wore a glove in college. So,
interesting.
Oh, he found an interview from Williams, from Cat Williams. He's a Cincinnati fan.
Okay, so he's not a Cowboys fan. Huh?
No,
you were right.
but
just a fashion thing with the stars.
So did you ever see Next Friday?
Yes.
Okay, so he was
but not as many times as Friday. I think I only saw it once.
Okay, so he was the pimp in that movie, and he was very integral in choosing all those outfits. And he said that on the Cub Shay interview. So, but yeah, so he's quite a trendsetter.
He's a funny guy for sure,
bro. He came up with all those outfits. Like, he was like making sure they had the right, like, I'm guessing he tried to make sure they had the right, like, fabrics to go with the right, like, pattern of shirt, because some of those outfits are just crazy. We got Rick Diaz in the house. What up, Rick Diaz? Appreciate you stopping in. So after we got, is there anything else you want to say about the glove or the wet ball?
I mean, just thank goodness there's no rain in the forecast for Sunday. And like last week when we looked, I don't know if it happened for our show, but it's like rain, no rain, rain, no rain. But then I was like, even the day when it said no rain, I noticed it was supposed to rain Friday and Sunday. And so I was like, well, geez, if the Friday rain is late or the Sunday rain is early, it could easily rain on Saturday. And as of now, it looks like we got rain tomorrow. And then Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday are all dry. The next rain is not for a full week till next Wednesday, according to the forecast, which obviously can change. Nothing's written in stone until probably about 24 hours, 48 hours before the game. But at least as of now, we don't have to worry about it there. And obviously we don't have to worry about it in a dome in Vegas. But, as much as I was coming around to Brock being a franchise guy, I said it in the last show I just went on with the Cleveland guys. Like, I can't pay a guy 50, 60 million bucks a year if he can't play in the rain and Levi's and where it's outdoors. And we don't even get the most rain. It's not like Seattle or whatever. But
see, that's the big thing, because you want to talk about cats and dogs.
Yeah, Seattle, and just half the stadiums are outdoors. So it's just crazy that we had like 9 of our last 11 games after the Cleveland game were outdoors, and this is the first time it's rained substantially. There was like mist in Philly, but it was not rain, or certainly not hard rain. So
Washington it's not like constantly really hard rain, but it's just constant rain. But there are times that going to your car, you can get totally drenched.
Yeah.
With a good jacket on.
So it's just crazy, because you look at what Purdy did all season and it was freaking phenomenal. It's franchise QB. I'm paying that guy. But you look at, the Bengals and the Packers, and I'm throwing in there again the first half of the Seattle Seahawks game in the wild card. That's not franchise QB stuff.
And at the same time, I don't think it would be as much of an issue if Kyle would notice things like this and plan for things like this. Yeah. Okay, it's raining, gents. Okay, well, we're going to run the ball and do play action. Okay.
Yeah. Instead of 39 pass attempts for Brock
Holy
Purdy.
Shit, right?
Record more than he's ever thrown in any game as a pro.
I think Kyle's like, oh, well, he's having a slow start, so I'll just dial up the pass plays, and once he gets in a groove, and it's like, no, what you need to do is run the ball to keep us going, keep us connected. If Purdy's in a slump or he's having issues with throwing the ball because of weather, we need to still be getting this offense down the field. And when you need him to throw the ball, it should be under the guise of or it should be either third down or you should be doing play action. I don't want to see play action on third down unless it's third and short, right? Because okay, if it's third and short, and you just ran 4 times in a row, and they know you're trying not to throw. Yeah, play action. Let's go kill them. Let's cut them deep. But let's just game plan this shit, Kyle. In the third quarter, they came out. They went 3 and out. The second drive, I think they had in the third quarter, I think it was. It comes out. They run like 3 run plays, or like 2 run plays, and like a pass that's like a screen pass, something like that. That's almost like a run, and we get going, and then we got this first down, and then we pass, and then it's incomplete, so it's 2nd and 10, and then we incomplete, so it's 3rd and 10. Or we might have got one back to the line of scrimmage or something like that. And then it's like, oh, here we are, 3rd and 10. We don't convert, and then we punt it. So we get back to the run game, which we see success. And then all of a sudden it's back to the passing game out of the middle of nowhere. Like, no, Kyle, run.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And, I mean, part of it is, Debo not being there. I get it. That's big, especially, when you have like 2 weeks of preparation, he's getting all the reps, and all of a sudden you're asking other guys that had no reps.
He's getting all the reps. The game plan, I'm pretty sure the way Kittle jumped around explaining it, pretty much Debo was the game plan.
Yeah.
Kittle said he expected Debo to have 3 touchdowns and 300 yards. And how do you expect that unless you know what plays are going in, and you're like, oh, that's going to be a nasty play for Debo. Ooh, that's another nasty play. Like Debo was going to, and he said 300 yards. Debo was going to get run carries. They said they were going to do they had something called the Hezi, which they swap out the H and the Z, which is Christian McCaffrey and Debo, right? So there was a lot of Hezi plays dialed up for this game, and the moment Debo went out, you can't do the Hezi plays. There's nobody just like McCaffrey to do the Hezi play, or Debo to do the Hezi plays, except for Christian McCaffrey. And that's why you do Hezi plays with them, is because they're interchangeable in those situations at times in certain plays.
Seems like you could have CMC fill in for Debo and Elijah Mitchell fill in for CMC, or
not in the pass game,
or have Ray fill in for Debo.
You can't get Elijah Mitchell in the pass game like that.
Ray did a pretty good job of it last year, but obviously he's not Debo. No one's Debo, but
I don't think you could put Ray in the backfield and he could have any sort of success like
you could do the reverses though. You could do the jet sweeps,
but that's not how they're doing it. They were doing like an I formation. That's how, okay. You know what I mean? I'm guessing because that's what Ray does. We don't need to replace. Ray does that when Debo's in the game. In fact, Ray does the sweeps now that Debo used to do. We don't really see Debo do the sweeps anymore. Everybody's looking for Debo to do the sweep. That's why we give it to Ray. Or so I feel.
Well, definitely not Jauan Jennings. That's a lesson learned. I'm with Bashar there. I definitely love Danny Gray's speed, but he seems like he's done for the year. He seems like he's done for good, actually.
I don't think he's going to be a part of this team much longer.
Another 3rd round whiff.
If you haven't seen the field by this time, bro, I'm sorry. It's just not. You don't have it. You don't have.
If he's under contract next year, I suppose we give him one more chance. So he was drafted in 2022, right? So 2022, 2023. I think he'll be there in 2024.
Maybe. I don't know. Me personally, I wouldn't keep a spot for him on this roster. I'd rather draft somebody.
Was he drafted with Lance in 2021?
Yeah. But I'd still rather draft somebody because we get a chance to see something else. Who knows? We might be able to get somebody that hits. We got Ronnie Bell. Look at Ronnie Bell, 7th rounder. There we go. Bang. You know, they're like, where do you get Ronnie Bell, a guy like Ronnie Bell in the 7th round ever? There's not many guys. You can get a Brock Purdy in the 7th round. Gray was
Never mind.
2002.
Just 2022. Yeah, I just looked it up.
Yep.
Had to know. That was my first guess.
I'm looking. Danny Gray's not a blocker. That's why he hasn't seen the field. As far as I can tell, he's not a blocker.
And he's not much more than a 9 route runner. The other one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like we've seen Ray's a blocker. Not that he's like a beast like Juwan Jennings at it, but Ray will get down the field and block his ass off. We've seen him a couple times this year help out guys to get touchdowns or like really great yards. And that's why he gets the ball. That's why he's here. He gets his love. Yeah.
One thing I'll say about it is if Debo is out this week, which I don't think he will be out, but if he is, it won't hurt as much after practicing all week without him. Then, like we said, everything was drawn up for him, and then he wasn't there, and it's hard to change gears once you've gone through all the reps and all the walkthroughs and everything. So I think it'll hurt if Debo's not there, but not as much as it hurt last week, would be my prediction.
Yeah. But at the same time, Debo, I'm pretty sure Debo's going to be there. I don't know.
I agree.
If it's limited capacity, it's limited capacity. And what I mean by that is them only using him in certain situations. And that's not like, I think they'll come out, they'll use him a little bit, make everybody go, oh, shit, Debo can catch the ball. He could do this and that. They're not going to put him in the backfield. They're not going to do they're going to get him open space across the middle. That's what they're going to try and get Debo doing. They'll probably let somebody else do all these blocking and stuff like that. But I think, like, at the end of the half, I'm sure we'll see him out there the whole drive type thing, because you never know when you want to pop those plays. So it won't be like you don't want to tip. So I think he'll be out there like full drives on certain like key drives. So like if we had to go down the field and win the game in the last, couple minutes, Debo's going to be there on every play, except for, after he has a long gain or, and gets tackled hard and has to come out for a play, you know what I mean? To kind of feel better. Because that does help. It's weird how you can go see a guy be in bent over agony to where you think he's broken something, and then just another play, he's back out there. And you know what I mean? Like it's funny how you can see that. Right? You know what I mean? Like, because you're thinking, wow, he's in so much pain. How is he going to be able to even walk? He's trying not to put any pressure on it on the ground. And then next thing you know, he's in the game. The body is an amazing thing. That adrenaline, man. That adrenaline is some crazy stuff.
Just gotta walk it off sometimes. Rub a little dirt on it.
Oh yeah. I slipped and fell and elbowed my roommate's the hood of her car. Right? Like I slipped and I dink like this. And I'm pretty sure I chipped a piece of bone off.
Ouch.
Yeah. And I don't know, like just kind of dealt with it. You know what I mean? I thought I bruised the shit out of it. You know what I mean? No, there's a little spot in there and it kind of moves around a little bit.
Funny bone's not so funny sometimes.
Oh my God. Anything else you want to talk about the game? You hit on Ambry Thomas a little bit in the beginning. I don't know if you wanted to go a little bit more in on him, because
he's a concern. Safety is a concern. Logan Ryan's a concern. Jair Brown's a concern. Our D-line against the Detroit Lions offensive line is a concern, because it was a concern against the Packers O-line, and the Lions O-line is better than the Packers O-line. So that's a concern.
I don't know how much of a concern Jair Brown is against the Lions. Like
Is he even going to
LaFleur,
start?
look, I don't think so. I don't know. I don't think they would plan for him to start. I think if anything, they'd put Logan up there, and then they'd put Brown in afterwards. Because if I'm going to play my young Wildcat safety, I'm not going to let you know until last minute so you can game plan for that. You know what I'm saying?
There you
You
go.
have a whole bunch of plays to tempt him.
Randy Elite Daytona wants his flowers.
No Ambry parades today. Oh,
He was saying that Ambry's no good, and he likes Isaiah Oliver. So,
well, I don't know. Ambry was doing good this year. Ambry might have been a little out of place in the big lights.
Have hand surgery and missed the last couple weeks, so that could be part of it.
I'm not going to throw Ambry too much under the bus, but that one pass interference penalty where it was just like, oh my gosh, he's in front of me and he's going to catch the no. And then like 3 seconds later, the ball comes in. It wasn't that bad, but in slow-mo, it's it's forever and a day before the ball comes in after he physically assaults him. We need to see better from him. And did you notice that Diamador Lenore was an absolute terror for 3 straight plays? And then I did not see him that much after that, really, like be that sort of a terror.
Stayed away from him. He had another signature hit, just like he did in Philadelphia, like a slobber knocker. He's our best playoff corner. He was last year, and he is again this year so far. So keep it up, Diamador. He's incredible. And Mooney Ward didn't play badly either. It's just
no,
Demo was lights out.
His worst play was when he fell down.
Yeah. Some other concerns are McKivitz.
Why?
Just because
Hawkinson
he's not very good. You mean Hutchinson? Yeah,
because he's not very good.
Agent Hutchinson, McKivitz is not very good, and Agent Hutchinson is playing like one of the best edges in football right now.
Yeah, and guess what? McKivitz, how much have we talked about McKivitz this year?
Not as much as I thought we would.
Does he really deserve this much disrespect right now? I think Kyle has been doing great game planning with him. I don't think it's all McKivitz, but I think he definitely deserves like 70 to 80% of the credit, because you can't get your hand held in this league that well all the time. You know what I mean? So I think he actually deserves some credit. I'm not saying he's going to have a stellar game, but I don't think he's going to give up 4 sacks.
No, not 4, but how many does it take to sink the ship? I don't know. And it's not just the sacks; it's the pressures. It's
Hutchinson's exactly. That's what I was going to say. We're talking about sacks. What if he gets 2 sacks? Okay, well, 5 pressures is way better than 2 sacks.
Yep.
But I think we're going to have a plan for that.
I agree with Bashar. He's playing better than both. I mean, all the top edges are playing better than Bosa. Hutchinson. Well, not for the Chiefs. I don't think Karlaftis.
Bosa's second most.
I don't think Clowney is for the Ravens.
Games. Second most games with 5 pressures or more behind Hutchinson. So he's number 2 without being number 2. You know what I mean? Like, he's the unsung warrior. Tyson Gibson gave him a whole bunch of credit on who was it? It was I think it was a Pat McAfee show. Gave him a whole bunch of credit for being selflessness on the line. So Maybe we need to take a look at Chase Young has really let us down. I was hyped when we got him too. We haven't seen
I
production
kind of
out of
said
him.
I thought we just got a good deal and potentially good upside, but I had a feeling he wasn't what everybody thought he was. Same thing with Randy Gregory. Like you can't fault the deal, but there's a reason why those teams were so willing to part with them and eat their contracts and stuff. I mean, I won't lie. I did say on the timeline, could this be the best edge duo in the NFL? I did say that. So clearly, I was hoping for that upside.
Wait,
but I remember
is Penei Sewell not playing?
No, Sewell is. Why
does he should have been?
I think he just means should be.
Okay.
No, who's may not play is their left guard, Dane.
Yes.
Jane.
I heard about their left guard this morning.
Jonah Jackson.
Yeah.
What did you hear?
Oh, I heard he was out.
For sure out for the game?
I heard one of their guards was out, yeah.
I mean, he definitely left the game and didn't come back.
To me, that doesn't
about Sunday.
Well, it was.
And then Ragnow, their center, left briefly, and then he came right back with a knee.
Yeah, but it was Tom Pellis. Yeah, well, fine.
Yeah, we're never like Carcass is saying we can never completely shut down a wide receiver. But they have some really good ones. They've got Amon-Ra St. Brown, who's one of the best this year. Laporta, who's one of the best tight ends. They've got Reynolds, who's like Goff's security blanket because they played together on the Rams. And as soon as he came over to the Lions, they started lighting it up in Detroit. And then don't forget Jameson Williams, their young, highly drafted wide receiver out of Alabama, who had an ACL to start his career and is still kind of getting back up to speed from that.
Amon St. Brown, he sometimes he doesn't get started very easily. Sometimes he goes like half a game without doing much. So if we can figure out how to kind of put him in a box, like, look, other than this last year, you could essentially swap him out for Puka Nacua this year. But Cooper Kupp, Cooper Kupp's always gonna get us 100 yards. Tyler Lockett or DK Metcalf, one of them is always going to get their 100 yards. Okay. What we can't have is them to get 180 yards, 190 yards. And so if we just plan that they're going to get 190 yards, not let them have it, just understand that it's going to happen. Okay. And we're going to try and make sure we don't give them certain of their bread and butter plays. That's what I'm worried about. Let's not let them have their bread and butter plays. Let's let them have to work around everything else. We play a nice, good, sticky defense. They're going to have to earn their business. We really need to worry about the run game. The run game is what we need to really worry about. I want Goff to kill us with his arm because that's how we win this game. I think we got to do something like a 5-2, come out in a big front with a lot of meat on the line, and get ready to push guys around because they are going to do it to us.
Played well against Green Bay, so maybe add him in there.
He was very consistent. You know what I mean?
He was one of the higher graded players.
Every time I see him in the play, it seemed like he was doing something, and he was stopping people in the run game. It's what I appreciate. In the pass game, all I need him to do is somehow warrant a double team. That's all I need. I just need you to warrant a double team. Everything will be fine.
Yeah, Randy, but Laporta had 10 TDs, so That's a lot for a tight end. Just ask Kittle, who's only ever done it once.
But he's crucial. He's clutch. I would say he's their like third Jawan. Not just on third downs, but when they really need a break, all of a sudden Laporta's there and he's coming down with the ball. It's going to be a first down or he's going to run it. And he's also one of them guys who kind of like, he's got that Kittle effect. So when he, goes down the field and hits somebody, his team gets, energized by that. So if we can, and he's also hurt. Why do you think they got Zach Ertz? I really think they got Zach Ertz to kind of take over the starting position for the most part.
No. Laporta's fine. He was fine. He played against the Rams. He played against the Bucks.
He played against the Rams. And what did he say that willed him to be able to play against those teams?
Well, their second string tight end got injured. Was injured, came back, and got injured again against the Bucks. That's when they signed Ertz. So maybe it's both.
Right. I
think it's more of the.
So think about this: if you can play,
you're not signing Ertz to be your primary tight end. Have you seen his stats lately?
Can I talk?
Sure.
So if your number one wide receiver is injured, right? I understand he's been playing. He's still injured. He's been talked about how essentially it's the drugs, it's the shots that he gets in the locker room and the fans in the crowd that is what gets him up in the morning to play the games. Okay. That's, I guess, a quote from him that I heard. I can't remember. I think it was Pat McAfee talking about that. Okay. So if you're looking at a Super Bowl, you're trying to see, well, what can I get this Zach Ertz guy to take some of the load off of Laporta so I can get this guy, and if I do get to the Super Bowl, I got less turn on him for 2 weeks, and then we're in the Super Bowl, right? And it's maybe not all passing downs, but I'm telling you, on blocking plays, all this stuff, Laporta will be out there. He definitely needed, because yes, they lost their number 2 tight end, and they love the double tight end sets and they love the jumbos. So yeah, he's really important, but I'm telling you, they're going to try and see if they can't get away with using Ertz over Laporta, because I think they're trying to save him, because who knows, maybe the injury can get better within this week, but it's an ankle and he's out there acting like it's nothing.
I would just say with Zach Ertz, he played in 7 games this season and he had under 200 yards and 1 TD. So
who did he play with?
Not exactly tight end, Cards.
Yeah. Which
true. Okay, fair. Yeah, it's not the Lions. That's true. Real quick, we got you see it's the kids in the house, John Jay.
Yeah. Oh, hold on. Let me give them some props.
Silly Fun Guy in the house.
Fun Guy.
He had a good point too. And Crazy Juice. Crazy Juice.
It's the kid in the house. John Jay from 49ers Ultimate Report. Make sure to go check him out. He's got himself a channel. Make sure you go like and subscribe to his stuff. Get through. I think I saw Silly Fun Guy. There we are. What up, Silly?
Pray for Kittle's knees.
Oh, he was.
Well, Kirby Joseph, the safety from the Lions, took out Hawkinson's ACL and Higbee's ACL in just a few games span. And they were really hunting against the Rams. I think we talked about it maybe last week, but if we didn't, I really noticed that they went for Puka's head, Kyron's head, Stafford's head, then Higbee's knee, and then on the infamous play towards the end where it was uncalled DPI on Puka, the second guy in went for his head too. So it was like 4 headshots and an ACL tear. I just felt like the Lions were playing dirty. Not as much against the Bucks, although again I haven't seen the whole game. I turned it off when it was 7 minutes to go to switch over to the. I was behind, and I was getting more behind on the Chiefs and Bills
Wait,
and
you
catch up.
You
I
didn't
didn't see
want to
the
watch
end of
those
the
two
Lions.
spectacular quarterbacks?
Baker and Goff. They're both
Those
number one
spectacular
overall.
quarterbacks. There's two. Like you
No.
had just got to
Terrific,
watch,
terrific.
you know,
You talking about
another
Amy Trask?
spectacular quarterback, terrific quarterback
Terrific.
against Brock Purdy the day before. Why wouldn't you want to watch a game with two terrific quarterbacks?
Yeah, I did. I
I'm
just
gonna
wanted
say.
to watch the more terrific quarterbacks of Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes. But anyway, they did do at least one headhunt early against Rashad White in that game, and the commentators even said like, "Oh, that was a hard hit." Yeah, it was like a hard hit to the head, helmet to helmet, and then Rashad White's helmet hit the AstroTurf too, which is obviously very hard and unforgiving. But he never went in the concussion protocol. They never even checked him. I thought that was pretty surprising. But again, like I said, I didn't see the final 7 minutes, so I'll have to rewatch that and see if there was any more Lions headhunting going on. But because I don't want to call them that if it's not true, you know, if it only happened during the Rams.
We got Team Cali in the house. What up, Team Cali? Appreciate you stopping in. Running a 5-3 is actually not a bad idea. It forces a man in the trenches, which will win 9 out of 10 times. Yeah, I think that's a great way to kind of combat them up front, and a way for us to naturally be a little more physical. We like to be more physical on our defensive line than other offensive lines. They got an offensive lines that are some guys that are not scared of anything really. You know what I mean? I don't think they're scared of our guys. I think they'll be prepared for our guys. I don't think they're scared for them. You know what I mean? I think they respect them, but I don't think they're scared. And I think if we come out with a 5 front and give them more to handle, I think then they'll sweat more, and they might have to reach. They might have to do other things. And I think that's when our defensive line wins.
Randy's making jokes over there.
We got Crazy Juice. What up, Crazy Juice? What we got going on over here? The poor taste. Oh.
No, above that, he said they're going to poop an egg roll. Well, and that's
the poor taste. Yeah. They need to stop doing the Y9 on first downs. It kills me when they do that. I don't know. I don't know. I don't think it's an issue if we can, because sometimes we're stopping them for like a yard or 2 yards on first down, even with the Y9. I think it's just certain times we obviously know how to play with it. I just
pause.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it is ours. You know what I mean?
It is.
What is your thoughts about the Lions defense? I know they play really physical. I know they're a good team. It seems to me that they make bonehead plays here and there.
I mean,
I feel if
their secondary other than CJ Gardner-Johnson is suspect.
Yeah, and it seems like they play well together. They play well together, except sometimes they just have these bonehead plays where stuff happens. And I feel if we can connect with somebody down the field when those plays happen, we'll be in a good spot. And if just as long as we run the ball.
Bound it. Yep.
Ideally. Anything else you wanted to get to? It's we got like 7 minutes till the witching hour.
And actually, I'm going to run over to my cousin's house and look at some bikes at 5 that they're no longer wanting to keep.
Bikes.
Bikes. Well, my son just learned how to ride a pedal bike, and like the little bugger, like we were out at this pump track, and we go to all the time. And anyway, I got him to ride on the ramp to get up some momentum so he could pedal. The first thing he does is want to go on the pump track, and he's been riding it ever since. So like, I need a bike to chase him around out there. have some fun with them. So if I could find one for free, that'd be great. Otherwise, I'm looking at like some dirt jumpers, or now I was looking at some cheap full suspension bikes. But I don't think full suspension is probably a good idea until I lose some weight. 300 pounds is a little much for it's not what those bikes are designed for. So I don't know. We'll see. But I'm gonna see what my cousins have for free.
So, you obviously don't know about Tom Segura's bikes.
No.
So everybody go look up Tom Segura's bikes after this. There's some language. There's some language. He's talking about an episode of Scared Straight, which I remember distinctly when I was a kid. Everybody else should, if they ever saw this one. But there's a part in there where they talk about bikes. And I'm sorry I don't do it correctly, but go check the bikes out. Oh, look at this. When did we get Josh Norman back? Ambry Thomas. My goodness, he was killing us with the PIs. Like, I'm okay with some PIs, but when you're hella early, bro, I'm not okay with that one.
Oh, and it was three of them. We were talking the biggest plays of the game were all on him.
I was like, just give him the catch and make sure you tackle him. Okay. If it's that bad, just make sure you can tackle him, give him the catch, and because I don't want the penalty afterwards. You know what I mean? Like, maybe if it's in the end zone and you can't this and that. Look, if you're in the end zone and it's going to be a touchdown, go ahead. PI the shit out of them. I don't care. Make it worth it. But like, when we're down the field like that, just let him catch it and tackle him.
Make him catch it. Yeah, because he might not. And make him pay.
Run him into the ground. You can still, like, when he catches it, put your arm in between his and then run up and through. Might be able to knock the ball out. It's better than just giving him the ball right there plus yards. Fuck. Yeah, it was hella early. Even slow down doesn't give you the best thing, but that's even in slow motion. It was like, okay, Embry's hands come in, bang, and then it's like 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, 4, 1,000, 5, 1,000. Ball comes in. Like, holy Jesus, guys. Slow motion isn't that slow. So, yeah. Anything else you want to talk about going forward this game? Anything to look out for? Any players on Detroit you think they have a similar
situation to us? They really like their punter and they really don't like their kicker, Badgley.
I like our kicker. I just wish he'd figure some things out. Hey, he got a 58-yarder. You know how happy I was about that 58-yarder? I was ecstatic.
52, but yeah, sure. And I'm with you. I was super happy he made it because that's what allowed us to have a game-winning drive instead of tying it up and going to OT. Yeah, other than that, I my prediction is Niners 31, Lions 24. That's if Debo plays. If Debo doesn't, I think it will be closer and lower scoring. But I still think we win. I think we win either way. But I don't think we'll blow them out. I think Detroit is a really good team. And it just sucks that, that they've never been to the Super Bowl and we're going to keep them from going to the Super Bowl this year. But I'm cool with being the spoiler. That's fine.
I don't see a blowout either. I don't see a blowout either without somehow breaking their morale or them having a couple of crucial injuries. You know what I mean? Which I don't wish. I want full strength, both teams, full strength, the whole game. Let's go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Let's best on best. Let's make it through the game. Leave nothing on the field. Everybody safe except for the normal bumps and bruises.
If Ragnow's knee doesn't hold up, that could do it. Him and Sewell are so important.
I heard about people talking about Fragno, will he play? And I'm like, bro, that guy is playing. Are you kidding me?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
And until he can't, he will look like he can play. You know what I mean? Like the offensive linemen are a different type of breed. When they're walking back to the huddle, you'll see the limp. When the play is going and they're sprinting, you won't see any sort of a limp. And that goes with a lot of players. But I'm just saying, like, that's kind of the mentality is like, when the job needs to be done, you just suit up because that is your job, is to be that man. And on the offensive line, it's your job. There's like, you really believe that there's nobody else but you who can fulfill that job. That's why Trent Williams, when he came back, was it last year? Or remember that one year where he came back and his ankle was bothering him and he said that he should have let the other guys play? Can't remember what year that was.
Against the Rams and then
Was
that's
that
championship game?
the Rams? Yes. So, yeah, he feels like there's nobody else, but in all actuality, there is somebody. And it's the backup because he can move correctly. You know what I mean? Like,
Garrett,
we've got a Rams fan in the house. Yeah. Thank you for stopping in. Oh, there's your applause. As Lions fans, we were playing with house money. Definitely feels a year early watching the game with my son and my Niners buddy. Good luck, everyone. Yeah, good luck to you guys too.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know.
We can't
I've
root
been
for each
talking
other's
about
teams, but we can root for a good game, no injuries, and no ref F-ups. And no ref F-ups. I just hope you guys are buddies after the game, please. Garrett. That's the trick. I'm just kidding. I'm sure you guys are good pals, and
I think
it sounds like you have proper expectations. But I will say, if the Lions win, like, it's not like going to be like an all-time choke or anything like that. If the Lions win, I think they're a damn good team, and I think 7 points might be a little bit much to have us favored by.
And only, yeah, it could or could not be. I can't tell yet.
The Lions have never won 2 playoff games. They had only ever won 1 playoff game before this. I thought
this is definitely a game the Niners can lose, and this is definitely a game the Lions can win. So,
absolutely,
anybody who thinks this is set already is tripping.
There's any given Sunday
going to take place on Sunday.
There's any given Sunday, but that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying the Lions have a much better shot than just any given Sunday. They have a quality team. Goff is better. Goff for the Lions is better than Goff was for the Rams. They have a better O-line. They have better weapons.
Well, I believe their scheme is set up better against us because it's kind of a bully ball mentality. Ours is bully ball, but we do it a different way. Theirs is bully ball. We line up like it. You know what I mean? We don't line up like it half the time. We're going to bully ball you down the field. We're going to bully ball you to the left side. We're going to do, we're going to move it around a little bit. They're just like, we're going to go forward. We're going to let you know where we're going, and you're still going to have trouble stopping it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And they go
because
for
they
it.
bully. So
they go for it on fourth more than any other team in the NFL. So,
yep.
Yeah, no, it's going to be a dogfight, folks. Strap in, buckle up. I don't think it'll be quite as dire as last weekend, but I don't see us rolling them up at all. I mean, if we do a little bit early, I see them, narrowing it at the end. I don't see it being a walk away by any stretch.
Well, Garrett, I appreciate you for stopping in. If we could get a like and a subscribe, I'm much appreciative. But also, I want to congratulate you here. He says he's also a Michigan alum and has already been one of the best football years of his life. Yeah. So, yeah. I live here in Washington, Garrett. So,
I'll say this, Garrett. I don't think. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you. Go ahead.
I live up here in Washington, so I know a lot of people are definitely bummed, especially when the coach got poached right afterwards.
Oh, sure.
To
go to Bama, right?
To replace
Saban, right? So I'll just say this, Garrett. I don't think the Lions will win, but if you guys do manage to knock us off, I'll definitely be rooting for you in the Super Bowl over, the Ravens or Chiefs. I just hope we are the ones that have a chance to get revenge, because we lost to both of those teams recently in the Super Bowl, the Ravens after 2012 season and the Chiefs after 2019. So whoever goes for the AFC, if we get to go, it's a Niners potential revenge scenario. And I just hope we
Can't look
make
back to
good
the same,
Sunday and 2 weeks from Sunday. So there we go.
All right. Well, with that, I want to thank
Take
everybody
6,
who
baby.
joined. I want to thank everybody who joined the show tonight on both channels. Really appreciate that. Yeah. Anything else? You got anything else going on you want to let the people know about?
Oh, geez. Yeah, I got a few things. Tomorrow at 11:30 a.m. Pacific, so that's 2:30 Eastern, Ash from the Lions UK is on Behind Enemy Lines. I got another Lion at 1 p.m., 4 p.m. Eastern, Right or Wrong, who's a Lions fan. And then obviously Aaron and I do First and Ted tomorrow at 3:30, 6:30 Eastern. Then Thursday, I've got Chris Robin, who's a Lions fan, coming on either at we'll probably do it around 12:30 our time, 3:30 Eastern. Then the usual Mike from the Man Cave at 2, and then Bash, Balling with Bash and Ted Friday 3. But I may add some more Lions Thursday and Friday. We'll see. I got a lot of feelers out for Behind Enemy Lines people. As you know, I always like to do, and then it helped make my article more accurate. Pretty much nailed the one for the Green Bay game, other than expecting a little bit higher score. I felt like I was really nailed that article last week, so I'm pretty proud of myself on that. Oh,
all right. Well, check back here on my channel in an hour, and you'll get Bring the Heat with Mariah 49er Faithfully, the 49er Faithfully podcast, and Bashar from 49er Minded. And then tomorrow I should be on Joe Stevens' channel, Seahawk Talk with Joe Stevens, for the rivalry. So check us out. It's where we talk about 49ers Seahawks. So yeah, with that, appreciate everybody jumped in tonight. Garrett, thanks for stopping in. Always appreciate fans from the other side, especially ones as gracious and nice as you. Hope you have a wonderful evening, sir. And we are out. Go Niners.
peace. Go Niners.